At this time, I'm going to invite Maylee back to introduce Bryan Jewell.
And it is also my great honor and privilege to introduce Bryan Jewell. I remember reading his file when he first applied to come to UNCW's MFA program, and I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. And it has been a joy and an honor to see Bryan's writing develop and to become this tremendous and powerful collection of essays. So Bryan Jewell's thesis, Meal Prepping the Apocalypse, is a collection of flash essays about various kinds of crises facing the United States of America in the early decades of the 21st century. The most obvious might be the pandemic, but Bryan shows the malaise runs deeper. It's climate change, toxic masculinity, racism, sexism, pop culture feuds, short attention spans, short relationship spans, Gen X in the water of Cape Fear, and islands of plastic waste in the ocean. While the subject matter might be terrifying, in Bryan's hands, the essays themselves are a delight, a mix of mordant wit, thoughtful advice to a godchild, letters to lovers, and a thoroughly sincere etymology of eschaton, aka the end times. But if this is the end of the Anthropocene, Bryan shows that he's ready to face the apocalypse, bug out bag and pen in hand. I'm pleased to introduce to you all Bryan Jewell.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Maylee Chai for that wonderful introduction and guiding this manuscript. Hearing your words tonight is an honor. I'm also grateful to Sayantini Dasgupta and David Gessner for reading and supporting my work this semester and throughout the past few years. Thank you, Cass, for that incredible broadside. So happy with how that turned out. I'm thankful to Lisa Bertini, Megan Hubbard, and Melissa Crow for serving as the brain and heartbeat of Keenan Hall. I especially appreciate your efforts with Young Writers Workshop. The 3 summer camps I helped coordinate were joyous and rewarding moments of community. I'm deeply grateful to Mark Cox for setting me up with that position, along with Tim Bass, Michael Ramos, and the rest of the amazing MFA students, undergraduates, faculty, and staff that helped with the last 3 summer camps we hosted. If you were part of those camp journeys with me, thank you, thank you, thank you. I started this program in August of 2016. It's been a long and strange trip over the past 5 years, but a brilliant experience to learn here at UNCW. Thanks to all the professors, friends, readers, writers, roommates, rivals, lovers, brothers, and sisters I've had the privilege to learn with. This is such a beautifully giving and caring community, and it's a blessing to have called it home for so long. I'd like to thank my family and loved ones, my parents, my brothers, along with all of the rest of the Jewells, Reardons, Augusts, McElroys, Wheelers, Youngbloods, Hernandezes, Gottliebs, Colsons, Scotts, and everyone else from Texas, Northwestern, Trader Joe's, the list goes on forever. But really all of us here tonight sharing this triumph from wherever you're Zooming. It's an honor to be reading among such brilliant artists. So again, if you're watching, thank you for the time, for the consideration. Even if it feels like great distances between us right now, it's beautiful to think we're all here together witnessing the same miracle. As Maylee said, my thesis is called Meal Prepping the Apocalypse, and it's focused on doom, religion, entertainment, letters to loved ones. I'm reading 3 pieces tonight. The first one is a letter, also the first piece of my collection. So I figured it makes sense to start there. It's called Hello, Professor. I hope your semester is off to a smooth start, despite the constant turbulence lately. In the face of current calamities, I'm sending this message to share good news. Last week, I learned I received the academic fellowship to learn more about our society of spectacle. Thank you for your recommendations. I'm excited to forge ahead with the research, and I'm grateful to have you considering my work later, if we survive. Many thanks, Bachelor of Science. P.S. Though my diploma details science, which we might consider to be non-fictional truth, I've been drawn to the occult arts and supernatural ideas lately. Shamans, spells, fantastic beasts and where to find them, the undead, charms, curses, and other methods for changing hearts and minds with ancient sounds and symbols. What can I say? I was raised on fantasy novels, science fiction, and anime. I'm trying to resist the temptation of the darkest of these arts and practices, but I also feel I should know how to defend against them at the same time. Is that the devil on my shoulder talking? I'm trying to stay sane and healthy and human in these strange times, but some of these interests are starting to approach obsession. Any insight you have into these ideas and inclinations would be greatly appreciated. The second piece is called Doom Scrolling for Basic Connection. It was on the broadside, and it's about stumbling upon a stranger's Instagram feed. Swiping through whichever dating application survived the latest round of the great winter smartphone purge, the dirty program comes upon a mimetic reiteration, a meme of a Renaissance-era painting. English text is superimposed over two conversing subjects, each with hair falling past their shoulders. Perhaps they're men, or nymphs, or angels. Only their bare faces and shoulders are depicted. A triangular bunch of golden grapes hangs at the top right corner of the frame. The digital text imposed onto the painting details possible dialogue, an addition from the hive mind of the internet. The blonde figure stares into the worried face of the brown-haired companion, left hand slung over the friend's shoulder, taunting, "You need a hobby." The brunette's brow is locked in agony, left hand touching the temple of his head, as if attempting to extract the concern from his brain. He replies, "I have a hobby." If the painting could move, someday it will be animated, further digitized. The blonde would inch closer to the friend's ear, whispering the heavy truth and final line of their conversation. Being sad isn't a hobby. So this is the last piece here. It's a letter to my goddaughter. I like to call her Mo. So this one is called Hey Mo. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about myself too. My grand concern is for the world we're inheriting. Yes, we have a healthy generation between us, but so much of our planet was shaped before we arrived. We are in dire straits. The earth is ending, though somewhat softly and slowly, for now. Erosion is typically gradual, but a mudslide or avalanche might come any moment now. Maybe these disasters are metaphors, placeholders for the plague or meteor that will blow us away like dirt. We humans have been playing the odds too long, and now we're witnessing apocalypse. Yes, we have the internet in our pocket, but the elements outside rage beyond control and comprehension. Furthermore, the internet, long thought to be a wonder of technology, has amplified our hate. Hatred in the final moments, hatred as a dying breath. Can you imagine? Again, I'm worried, but maybe if we keep preaching and practicing love, thinking critically about our lives, we can overcome the hell and high waters on the way, or at least find peace in this chaos. These words are almost over for me. This chapter of my life is almost finished. Thank you for existing, Mo. Lately, I've relied upon you to guide me to moral clarity. I consider myself mostly sane, but I'm also the guy trying to pass off magic, myths, and zombies as nonfiction. Regardless of what anyone thinks, this dissociation has been a useful coping mechanism for this mad world. Despite my thinly veiled jokes, I'm convinced there's a tricky future ahead of us. I have doubts about one distinct event that ends life on Earth. Something always survives. But I understand this to be an age of calamity. Like Susan Sontag suggested, this world is less apocalypse now and more apocalypse from now on. I don't know how I can best help you, but I hope these words can guide you, should you ever see them. I wish I didn't need this distance. Living far from loved ones is tough. I'm lucky to have a great friend I consider a brother to be living down the road from me, but I don't know how much longer I'll be here either. I don't know what I need beyond a fresh perspective. My final advice is to buckle up for the road ahead. It's going to be a bumpy ride. The end is near, which means the beginning is too. Please take care. Your second favorite Doomsday Prepper. Thank you.
Yes, Bryan.
Yeah, Bryan!
Go, BJ. I love you. We sure do.
Cats.
Oh, he looks so harmless, that one, like a soap opera actor, but he's a sneak attack, isn't he? Okay.